The year is 1927. The location is Tibet, part of the Chinese Triad. The skies above are dark with clouds, and a soft rain falls on the land below. The monastery on the hill has been visited by many who seek guidance in dark times, and I am to join that number. I have felt lost since my emergence into this new time, and I must know where to strike if I am to have my revenge against the demon known as Cain. I make myself known to the monk who greets me, but he speaks to me as though he already knows who I am, like he was anticipating my arrival. He knows I have experienced great loss that I seek revenge for. He knows I seek guidance for my path. He points to a spot at the top of the hill and tells me to meditate in that sacred place. There, those who seek guidance for a worthy cause are greeted by a guardian spirit who will grant them knowledge. I thank the monk and ask if there is anything I can do to repay their guidance. The monk simply shakes his head and tells me they will not see me again if I find what I'm looking for. I make my way up the stone steps to the top of the hill, my stride determined and my breathing steady. When I reach the top, I find a stream peppered by raindrops snaking between a section of sand and a section of grass, with trees planted in both sections and gently swaying in the wind. In the center is a stone, circular and large enough it could be used as a dining table. Leading to the stone is a path made from smaller stones. I approach along the path and kneel on the stone. Alright, guardian spirit, or whatever. My ancestors will not speak to me, so I now speak to you. A great injustice has been dealt to me, and I seek either justice or revenge, whichever one is more convenient. I was turned against my kind by a demon that holds tremendous power in this age. I cannot attack without a plan, and I must know if I can succeed. It feels like this entire world is against me, and I ponder if I am little more than an angry fool seeking to battle the sea itself. So, any guidance you can provide would be, well, kind of helpful at least.
For the last goddamn time, Wong! Your marriage is a lost Oh, this is new.
You don't look like a spirit to me. And what was that rift? Are you Kortharos?
Nope, just a human capable of wondrous things. But you, Kortharos. I don't think I've ever talked to one face to face. This'll be interesting. You don't need to kneel like that. The guy you probably spoke to is a bit of a nut job. Also doesn't play child support.
They call me a nut job on the radio. Alright. Do you have any guidance for me, or should I just go home?
I can help, but do you seek revenge? Or to take down what is truly wrong? I know nothing of you after all. Trust is important for friendships, no?
You are correct. Trust is important for friendships. I assume this will manifest in some sort of trade. Information for information, presumably.
I like that idea. Alrighty. What is your name, young knight?
The people of this time call me Jovian Aurelius. However, if we're going to be friends, then I should be able to trust you to keep a secret. The names I was born with are Metius Aurelius Jovianus and Tharos Dova Kevatharos.
Oh, I recognize that name. Does the name Cain sound familiar?
As familiar and as painful as syphilis.
Ah, then I believe it is fate that we've met. Very well. I will give you my trade of information.
This creature produces from his hand a blue orb made from swirling power. Naturally, I presume this is some form of scrying, or a means to access the spirits beyond. I investigate the orb to see if there's anything waiting for me within it, but...
There. My name is Barry.
Okay, you're just fucking with me, aren't you?
No, believe it or not, that's my real name.
Fucking hell.
One downside with knowing this guardian spirit is that I have a dangerous yet sporadic sense of humor. Now, for real. You wish to get your life back together, yes?
Pretty much, though ideally it involves putting Cain's head on a pike.
I like your crudeness. Anyway, the orb ensured we were alone. We can't have anyone getting any bad ideas, right?
Fair. So what kind of help can you give me?
If you were just an average passerby, I would simply give them a white lie and lead them to a probable lifestyle. But since it's the fabled Jovian, perhaps... Perhaps you can help me as well. I can help, but my help probably won't seem like it at first. Just know that I know lots of things. even Kane's weakness.
Alright, let me rephrase. What kind of help can you give me at the moment? Because I'd rather not sit here for much longer discussing what can and cannot be done.
Okay, first things first, in the lovely journey of Jovian. If we're going to defeat Kane, we must go for smaller targets first. You need practice hitting targets, so you're better off hitting something smaller than going straight for the most secure location. Either way, you're woefully under-equipped. So in this case, we're gonna take a trip to the ruins of Alexandria.
Sorry, we?
Yes, I'm no guardian spirit. I'm a walking, talking mortal. Just gifted with many powers and all. And knowledge. It's hard to explain.
So you'd abandon this place to help me on what is essentially going to be a crusade. Very well, just try not to get shot.
Finally, something new! And for the record, I don't live here. I just come here when I'm bored.
Then what? Never mind. It'll probably be a headache to explain anyway.
You've caught on quickly. This'll be fun. Lollipop?
No.
You sure? It'll help draw the sorrows away.
Is it loaded with fentanyl?
Whatever your heart desires.
In the time since then, I brought Barry to my house where he met Vita.
Hello.
Fuck off.
Fine. By the way, those syringes are mislabeled. Don't get them mixed up.
Motherfuck.
And I showed him my hometown of Alexandria, where we picked up some necessary items from the ancient library's ruins. Holy shit, that's a Nova Bomb.
Ooh, that looks fun.
If you define fun as harnessing the power of a literal sun into an explosive device that makes current explosives look like firecrackers, sure.
Who said I didn't harness that power already?
You make it very hard to take you seriously.
That's my specialty.
And then learned that the British Museum already had something I desperately needed. My contact says they're keeping it in there, in the ancient Rome exhibit. I intend to go in there and verify its authenticity. If it's real, I'm taking it. If it's not, I'm setting the place on fire.
You sold me on setting the place on fire. Shall I portal you in then?
No. That'll draw too much attention too soon. As far as anyone is concerned, I'm just an elf with a rare eye condition, so I should be able to waltz in no problem.
And I'm just a human with a floating disorder.
By the elements. Let's go. We enter the British Museum, the modern monument to the bounties of an empire. Around me, I see artifacts and treasures from civilizations both dead and alive. I keep my focus on where I need to go, following the directions posted towards the ancient Rome exhibit. When I arrive, I feel pain in my heart as I see both remnants of a time I hold dear to my heart and technology is yet to be truly understood by humanity. At the center of the room is a case featuring a weapon, long and slender, featuring a vicious curved blade like a hook. It is entirely made from an alloy of metals humanity could not wrap their heads around, even if given 2,000 years to study it. They would call this a derivative of the Egyptian khopesh, but everything about it would suggest it was made with technology the ancient peoples of that time could only dream of. My people called it the Jevsora, the Warblade, an elegant yet brutal weapon designed and crafted by Vega Jova, the first envoy of the Great Spirits. It's real. I can sense it.
Ah, I was wondering what you were after.
Well, time to take it home. Brits be damned. An alarm rings out with the sound of a crash. I take the blade in my hand and recognize it immediately. Memories flood my mind from that time long ago. My teacher showing me how to fight. My betrothed making me prove my strength. My father trying to defend himself when I discovered his dishonor. This wasn't just any Jevsora. This was Overak Kol, my Jevsora.
Jovian? This isn't the time for a story plot flashback.
As it happens, during my trip down memory lane, I failed to notice there were no other visitors in the room, and I was surrounded by guards. One of them attempts to approach to take the weapon from me, but I snap out just in time to react. A swift movement from my hand sends the closest guards flying back, and I take a defensive stance with my blade. I sense something behind me, just as the shot rings out. I don't have time to react. I wasn't expecting them to have guns. In that fraction of a second, dozens of eerie portals come into existence, blocking a multitude of guards from firing at us.
Take the front. I got the ones upstairs.
This voice, it doesn't sound like him. Almost like he's a completely different person. I hear the screams from above, along with what sounds like electric cannons firing. I have no choice but to set my doubts aside, for now. Very well. The fight towards the entrance is brief the moment their weapons are torn away. With nothing to fight with but their bare hands, they seem helpless as I surgically eliminate the threat, using the flat of my blade and pulling the handle of my weapon, cautiously avoiding needless slaughter. These men were doing their duty. It would not be right to kill them. I could hear Barry's progress upstairs as he advanced. If I were in his position with his abilities, I'd focus on area denial, using the portals to redirect guards to unrelated areas, or simply trap them to deny mobility would be more beneficial to us than direct combat. However, since I couldn't see him, I would never know. Next time I would see him was when he appeared next to me as I entered the museum's atrium.
Don't kill, right?
Ideally.
Good. I made the right choice.
More guards would arrive with more weapons, but we deal with them all the same. Up until the last one. He isn't dressed like the others, and instead of a firearm he bears a spear. Somehow he proved to put on more of a fight than the ones with firearms. However, in the end, I dispatched him with a quick burst of lightning. With no other opposition, we reached the door.
That's far enough.
Standing just in front of the door is a blonde woman wearing a long crimson skirt and a wide strap across her chest. Her eyes are dark wells of shadow, contrasting the sunlight streaming into the room through the open doors. I could feel a dark power unlike anything I'd felt before oozing from this woman. Slowly, a wicked smile crosses her face as two dark whip-like tendrils form from her hands. Her golden irises shine like stars as she shifts her gaze to me, seemingly staring into my soul.
It's been such a long time since I've had a proper plaything.
With little to no time to react, my blonde partner opens a portal next to us and shoves me in. It feels like I'm jumping into a pool, but I feel no water as I tumble into a dark place. My landing is softer than I expected, and it takes me a moment to escape my dazed state. That was way too close.
Didn't expect her of all people.
The moment I get my bearings, I look around and I see a land of charcoal gray stone surrounded by a dark violet void. Calm, quiet, and yet chaotic and filled with disarray. I feel like I was looking at the ruins of a once bountiful land, the silence and stillness sending shivers down my spine. Streaks of violet flame-like energy cross the sky occasionally, like lonely shooting stars in a sea of entropy. This place reminds me of the rifts Barry summons, almost to the sort of uncanny resemblance that would make one believe they are one and the same. Where the hell are we?
This is the realm that connects my portals. I didn't have enough time to route our escape portal. You're the first one to ever see this place.
A realm barren of life, and you casually suggest it belongs to you? Just what kind of creature are you?
I guess it can't be helped, since we are partners now. I'm not a normal being, Jovian. I'm sure that's obvious. Now that I see that you are serious about this, I took all the energy I could and saved us from disaster. We were not ready in the slightest. No, you are not ready. Yet you still press forward. I know, you want to know who I am. It's a well-kept secret of mine, which I am reluctant to share. Unfortunately, you won't trust me unless you know the truth. I can already tell from your eyes. I'll be nice and share a fraction of this secret in riddles. One thing I did not lie to you about is I was once human, just a normal boy. But now, I am. That is all I will say.
I'm sorry, you kind of lost me a little bit in certain places. All of this is a lot to process.
It is to be expected. You are immortal after all. Now that I've told you, this conversation does not leave this realm under any circumstances.
Or what? Point taken.
Glad we understand each other. Now, let's get home, shall we?
What is with that sudden mood swing? It's borderline emotional whiplash, and it doesn't help that I'm still processing all this shit.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Have you hit your head, Jovi? Come on, people are waiting for us, you know.
Don't fucking call me that. And don't contact me. I'll contact you if I need you. You're already enough of a headache as is.
That's how you're gonna treat someone after saving your life? I have a headache from all those portals. My head.